everybody, and welcome to Open Studio on Cape Town TV. My name is Ashley Brandt, and welcome to the show. Now, if you have seen the previous show we had with the SPCA, they were here to talk to us about animal rights and animal abuse and the things that they do to help these animals. Today, they're here to talk about the services they render and projects that they run to help animals in this world a better place. Guys, welcome once again to the show. It's nice to see you guys again. Tell me, you guys have an animal hospital. What type of services do you render there?
We provide basic veterinary care, so that's anything from vaccinations, dewormings, assisting with animals that have been involved in maybe motor vehicle accidents or dog bites. We tend not to work in terms of orthopedic injuries, so if an animal needed, let's say, a plate in their leg, we'd often refer them to a specialist. But we obviously have vets that are just as proficient as any vet you'd find in a private practice. They've all studied at the same hospital at Ornesteput in Pretoria, so they are incredibly skilled. For them, working at our hospital in some ways is like working in an emergency ward at a human hospital. They sometimes see things that you might not see in a normal private vet. They see stabbings, they see dogs that have been inflicted with gunshot wounds. So they really do see it all, and they do amazing things under incredibly challenging circumstances. You know, we don't necessarily have the most high-tech equipment that more modern facilities might have, but they do beautiful work, and that's all because of our amazing supporters who, you know, donate towards us so we can do what we do.
Okay, now where and when can the general public have access to these services?
Okay, great question. We are open every day from 8:30 to 5 p.m. from Mondays to Fridays. We are open on the weekends on Saturday from 8 till 12 p.m. It's important for people to know that after hours, because we are a welfare, we do not have a vet on standby after 5 p.m. So for us, we would advise if your animal is needing veterinary, what's the term? If your animal's needing veterinary, I've just forgotten the word now. Assistance. There we go. Thank you for that. If your animal's needing veterinary assistance, we would advise that you go to a private vet that is open 24/7. We can put your animal on a drip. We can make sure that an animal welfare assistant is there to monitor your animal through the evening. But unfortunately, after hours, we wouldn't have a vet there that could maybe perform life-saving surgery. So it's important for people to understand that, and it can be frustrating sometimes because often the accidents happen after hours. But at any time of the day, you can call us, you can call our emergency line, and then we will advise you accordingly what your pet needs. And that's for any animal, wild, domestic, farm, whatever the case may be.
Yeah. Now, besides your animal clinic that you guys are running, you also have a mobile clinic. How did that get to start, and what type of services do they offer?
The mobile units are really important because the reality is a lot of people don't have transport to get their animals to our animal hospital, which is based in Grassy Park.
Okay.
So we did have to make a choice years ago and go, we need to get out into communities. It's really important that they see us amongst the communities, building relationships, knowing they can trust our mobile unit operators. So again, we go out with our mobile units, we can communicate with people, we can educate them on site in their communities, and we can make sure that we can give those animals vaccinations, dewormers, and we can bring their animals in, very importantly, for sterilizations, and then return them to their owners when the mobile units return to those areas. So we have our mobile units going out every single day, 6 days a week, so not every single day, 6 days a week, and they go out to areas like Gugulethu, they go out to Khayelitsha, they go to Mitchell's Plain. We've got all of the information on our website so you can view if we are in your area, and you can feel free to come to us at any time if you need help.
And is there any cost to these services with the mobile services?
With the mobile unit, there are very minimal costs. So you're looking at maybe spending 50 rands on a vaccination, but we never turn anyone away. So if your animal is in need, we will make a plan and assist you as best we can.
Awesome, amazing. Tell us about the work of an animal inspector.
Sure. I would say Ellen's probably had a lot of experiences with our amazing inspectors. I don't think they get enough credit. The animal inspectors, our SPCA inspectors, are the guys on the front lines. They are the ones who are responding to calls that we get every day. We have a control center at our inspectorate. So we have 2 or 3 amazing people that are on the phones all day. We get up to about 55 calls a day, which could be anything from an animal getting knocked over, it could be an animal running out of its property, it could be a porcupine that's been hit by a car, or a bird that's fallen out of a nest. The options are endless. So what happens is we'll get a call. The control inspector will then look on her map. It's an interactive map, and we can see where the inspectors are at the moment in the city. And she'll go, okay, Inspector Jeffrey is closest to this call. We're going to dispatch Jeffrey to go after his next rescue and help this particular animal. So our inspectors encounter often really challenging experiences. They can be out in any weather, no matter how bad. They could be dealing with a baboon. They could be out helping someone get a cat out of a tree, or a cat stuck up a chimney, which happened last week. It can be more dramatic rescues where you might have a pony that's fallen into a stormwater drain canal. So they really have to be ready for anything. They have to be strong, and sometimes they're also going into areas where maybe they're not welcome and people are suspicious of what they're doing. And we have had inspectors very terrifyingly held at gunpoint and encountered really, really scary people.
Yeah.
But they get up every day and they do it because genuinely, I can say for every inspector that works at the SPCA, they have an amazing love and passion for animals, and they're willing to do it. So they are not coming in every day just for a salary. They have real heart and they adore animals. So yeah, those are what our inspectors do.
Alan, I wanted to ask you, do you feel that we have situations where the public is not, there's a lack of education when it comes to animals?
From my side, as a profession, I'm a teacher, and as Megan said, education is the most important.
Yeah.
And I feel that as they do, if I can say, to get them as young as possible, if I can put it that way.
Yeah.
The main, I know the SPCA has amazing campaigns. But you cannot reach every single person on every single level.
Of course.
That's why I feel with children, they take it home.
Yeah.
So, for example, when I was teaching, if I can just use one scenario, I had a class of 42 grade 10s, and there was one B in the class. One B and 42 children storming out the class, and I was left alone with a B. One B literally cleared a whole classroom. So all I did was simply open the window.
I would be outside too.
I opened the window, let the bee out, okay, and then called the children who were halfway down the corridor. Okay, you can come back, it's safe again. The other case was literally a tiny praying mantis this size, and half the girls in the school scattered for their lives. So again, I took part of the lesson and I explained that, for example, with bees, the more you get agitated, the more angry the bee gets angry. And with a praying mantis of that size or of any size, they are not dangerous. So education for me is the key.
Absolutely. Will that be buzzing, guys? We'll be back shortly. Do not go anywhere. G'day guys, and if you just joined us, welcome to Open Studio on Cape Town TV. My name is Ashley Brandt, and with us we have the SPCA, and they're here to share with us the amazing services that they offer for our animals and animal rights. Guys, thank you. Tara, share with us, what services do you offer to a feral cat? What is a feral cat?
Okay.
And what do they differ between a stray cat?
Okay, so I'm much more of a dog person, but I know a bit. So you've got your cat, you've got your home cat that just hangs out at home with you, it's loving life, it's cared for, it's loved. Then you've got potentially a stray cat, which is more than likely a cat that once had a home and decided, I want to live life, you know, with freedom. I'm out there doing my thing. You know, cats, they're quite independent, they do what they want to do. But then you've got a feral cat, which is a little bit different. Feral cats are almost semi-wild, and the majority of them are going to have been born stray. They will have been born out there without a human looking after it, caring for it. So essentially they're tapping into their instincts before humans ever cared for them. So it's almost like those adverts where you see cat food being advertised and they tell you tap into the inner wild lion. So your little feral cat doesn't need people. It's lived on its own from the moment it was born. It's been raised by cats, very independent, a little bit wild. And because of that, they're not used to human interaction. So when you encounter a stray cat, for instance, it might come up to you. It might be a little bit affectionate.
Of course,
Your feral cat's not going to really want anything to do with you. They're going to be a bit fearful of humans and that they don't trust you. You're another wild animal. So what happens is you often have a lot of populations of feral cats that are just living their life, they're breeding, they're potentially, unfortunately, because they're not managed by humans, they aren't going to a vet regularly, they might have certain diseases.
Okay.
So, you know, like all animals, certain animals harbor different bacteria, different diseases, and because of this, the SPCA has taken it on themselves to make sure that while we know some feral cats don't ever want to be brought into a home environment, they're actually happy being out there living a bit of a wild life. We want to make sure that they
Doing
stay
my
healthy.
thing.
Exactly. But like I said, some of these cats can pick up diseases. So there are things like feline AIDS, which can be very contagious. Not contagious to humans, but it can spread very quickly amongst cat populations. So we as the SPCA do work where if someone like an Ellen calls us and goes, oh, you know, there's a factory out there in an industrial area and I know that there's some cats running around and they're feral. We'll then send out an inspector, they'll assess the situation, they'll say, okay, yeah, these do look like feral cats, they're not owned by anyone, no one's going to be looking for them, but we want to also respect the fact that these animals are living a life not causing harm to anyone, so we will send out people to trap the cats, we'll bring them back to our vets, we'll then make sure which ones are healthy, which ones are potentially suffering because maybe a disease has come to a point where it's actually harming the animal. The vets will make a decision and go, you know what, we can send these feral cats back to that area. We'll now know that we've sterilized them, we've given them treatment, we've vaccinated them against future diseases. So we basically try and help manage certain populations of feral cats. Because we don't want to just simply go out there and take these animals and bring them back to us and euthanize them. You know, these cats have done nothing wrong, but we have to also work smartly and make sure that we're protecting them from other diseases, and also make sure that we keep an eye on them because there could be an animal there in that feral population that's suffering and in pain, and then we have to do what's ethically right.
No, that's great. Share with us, please, your adoption services that you guys render. What is needed from the community when they want to adopt the animal?
Okay, so our adoption process is pretty straightforward. It takes about 2 weeks from initially coming in, showing us that you want to adopt an animal, through to us ideally bringing the animal home to you. What you do is you come to us, you express an interest in what kind of animal you'd like. We'll then sit with you. We have these really amazing people who work there and they're called adoption officers. So the adoption officers will sit with you, they'll learn about your lifestyle, your family, and potentially you might come in with an idea of a certain animal, a certain breed you think you want. You might be right, but potentially you might be like me. I can be quite lazy. So if I wanted, for instance, a husky, they would probably advise, you're probably not the best poor parent for a husky. You don't like to leave your couch. So they might say, Tara, maybe you should look at this pug. So we make sure that we find the best match, not just for the human, but for the dog as well. Because the better the match, then we know that they're going to be lifelong partners together and you're not going to have an issue where they might bring the animal back to us because that's stressful for the human and the animal. So people come in, they say, I want to adopt a dog. We'll assist you, we'll show you the animals, and you might just fall in love with an animal that you never expected to fall in love with. You fill in a deposit form, you put down 100 rands, and then that secures your application. Then we'll send an inspector to your home. We'll just assess that your home is secure and safe for the animal. You know, you'll have an area where the animal can sleep inside your home. You'll have fresh water and food. And then once we're happy that you guys are a perfect match and your home is suitable for your dog or the cat that you're looking at adopting, we'll then go, well done, you've adopted your new baby, and you can take your animal home. So it's a really happy experience. And sometimes it might seem like we have a few rules that could be a bit annoying, but it's only because we want the best possible outcome for our animals.
For the animal, absolutely. Now, in my experience, having dogs, it is a huge responsibility. Would you agree on that?
Yes, to be honest, I'm a cat fanatic. Well, now we have the symbiosis, dog, cat.
Dog, cat, there we go.
But yes, it is a forever responsibility. When I was teaching and I was telling the children about my love for animals, and I said to them, it's like your parents loving you. It's not like from birth to 18 and okay, bye. It's until it's for your whole life.
Till death do us part.
Yes.
For their life.
For their lives, yes, of course.
Yes. And like for example, I have made provision if I pass on before my cats do, I have made provision for them to be safe.
That's amazing.
Because they are my biggest loves in life.
Yes.
So, yes, they need to be looked after, and they are a responsibility, but they are the biggest joys that you can have, in my opinion.
Amazing. Please share with us, what is Tails Up Club?
Oh, Tails Up Club is awesome. So Tails Up Club is essentially the SPCA's own little lottery program. We have a club where there's a maximum of 2,000 members. So we only have 2,000 members, and you pay 50 rands a month, and that allows you the opportunity to win 10,000 rands, which is amazing. And because
10,000 rands?
Yes, every month someone wins 10,000 rands, and that's because they signed up to this donor program where they donate 50 rands a month to us. And the beauty of it is we have this membership capped at 2,000. So if there are only 2,000 people entering, you have a pretty good chance of winning.
10,000 rand, guys, for signing up for Tails Up. That's amazing, guys. We're going to have a short break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back shortly. Hey, guys, and welcome back. My name is Ashley, and if you just joined us, we are talking to the SPCA, and they're here to share with us the amazing stories about animal rescue, how to take care of them, and how to love your animals. Lady of the moment, please share with me, what is the My School card? What is it?
It is a card which you are a member of. It's a club,
Yeah.
and you can choose your beneficiaries. There are 3 beneficiaries. I requested from a head office of an organization the whole list to choose from, and the SPCA was, of course, one of my choices. And every time you swipe your card at certain stores, which are on the back of the card, then they gain points, if I'm not wrong, which translate into money according to how much you buy. And every month I get a statement to show how much my 3 beneficiaries have received, not just from me, but from everybody in the country. So
she shops, and you win. Yeah.
Sorry, yes, guilty, sorry, yes. And I'm always very happy to see how much the SPCA gets. Obviously,
yeah,
my other
yes.
2 beneficiaries as
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
You can choose schools, etc., literacy programs, etc., but being an animal fanatic in general, my 3 beneficiaries are for animal charities, and they are, of course, one of them. And it's very heartwarming to know that other people have made that choice as well, and to see how much is given every month via just by swiping, and it costs us, the shopper, nothing. Well, even if it did, for me, it wouldn't be an issue if it was a few cents or a few rands a month, but it doesn't cost us anything, and it helps them in a big way.
Yeah.
That's amazing. And what other volunteer projects does the SPCA offer, and how can we get involved with that?
We've got quite a few. We have volunteers who can decide if they want to help walking the dogs, if they want to help cleaning our kennels or our catteries. We've got some volunteers who will offer their skills in terms of marketing and sales. So throughout the year, we'll have various events. We'll have a Woofie Bundle or Wiggle Waggle, which is a doggy walkathon. So our volunteers will come and help with that event. They'll help with registration. They'll help set up the event. Also book sales. We do a lot of book sales throughout the year, and some of the book sales can bring in up to 80,000 rands. So books are amazing. So volunteers will donate books, and they'll also come and they'll do something as simple as sitting there for hours before a book sale, marking all the books, making sure they're in good condition, and then pricing them. Simple things like that. Then we'll get other people who have expertise with maybe veterinary sciences. They'll come and help out with our vets. Obviously, they need to come from a veterinary background. We get a lot of overseas visitors who choose the SPCA as a place that they want to come and volunteer. So we'll often be walking around and you'll hear German accents and Dutch people and Americans, which is wonderful because it just creates more awareness for the wonderful work we do. So there's many things you can do at the SPCA. You just tell us and we'll find somewhere to put you to work.
That's amazing. What is Team SPCA Unleash the Animal in You?
Okay, so yes, as I might have mentioned, I'm not the most athletic person, but Team SPCA is for those people who are sporty, who want to get out there, who want to hike mountains, who want to take part in cycling races or marathons, they will then become a part of Team SPCA. They will say, okay, I'm going to be cycling the Cape Town Cycle Tour next year in 2020. I'm going to raise funds for the SPCA.
Yeah.
They come to us. We've got a really, really dedicated team of challenge fundraisers who work incredibly hard over the year with a million different sports events, and they can sometimes raise from 2 to 3 million rands a year. And you'll say, I'm going to cycle for you or run for you. We'll sign you up. We'll give you beautiful branded SPCA t-shirts, and your mission is to ask all your friends in your community to help fundraise your race. So we'll say, please try raise 2,500 rands for us, cycling this Cape Town Cycle Tour, and then we will assist you in fundraising. You'll make sure everyone you know in your network knows that you're cycling for us, and then you'll raise money by doing a race for us.
That is amazing. Regarding that, if we are interested, we will be interested in donating for you guys. How do we go about that? And like, if we want to donate for you guys,
the best thing to do is decide on which SPCA you want to support.
Yeah.
Go to their website. So for us, you go to the capespca.co.za, and then you'll see that there's various different options on how you want to support us. And then you can decide what suits you. Maybe you can't donate money, so you're going to donate time or a service, or you're going to donate some old clothes to our charity shop. There's so many different ways, and it all helps.
what is the future looking like for the SPCA?
We know it's never going to be easy. We know that people are all trying their best to survive, and it's about thinking of new innovative ways to just maximize on the good work that we do and show people that the littlest amount of support has a massive impact on animals. So I think as long as we continue to share the stories, to show the wins despite all of the challenges and sometimes the sad stories, that those wins are actually affecting an actual life, and it makes a difference to that life. So it's the starfish story. We might not save them all, but the ones that we save, it changes their lives dramatically, and that's all because of the work that we do, and it's important, and you just have to have some faith.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And do you guys feel that exercise is good for animals?
Definitely.
Why?
Because they really need to be stimulated mentally. It's not just enough to exercise an animal. Think about a dog. When they go out, everything is about their nose, and it's about smelling.
Yes.
And that stimulates them, and it gets them excited. So, like us as well, we have to move. We have these bodies, they need to move, they need to be fueled with good nutrition. And for an animal, it's not a life for an animal just to be inside all day.
Yeah.
It's wonderful to love them. It's wonderful to know that they have maybe your bed or your couch or a doggy bed to lie on.
Yes.
But they all deserve to be out there in fresh air, moving their body, staying healthy, because that's part of wellness too. So if you have an animal, it is really incredibly kind and the right thing to do to take them out at least once a day for a walk, because it's their entertainment.
Yeah. And regarding food, do you think people need to be educated more on the diet and portions of food that needs to be given to animals?
Well, sorry if I can interject
yeah,
there.
yeah.
Same as for us. You said it's good for them to get out in the air, but it also encourages us to get ourselves moving. When you have a dog, you can't sit back on the couch.
Yeah.
Sometimes they bring the lead to you, and it's like, okay, time for a walk.
Yeah.
And the same with food, portion control, not too much, not too little, and the correct type of food. Often, we feed our animals from the table, and that is not good.
Amazing. Can you guys please just share with us again, how can we get in touch with you guys?
Really easy. If you need us for anything, please call 021 700 4158 or after hours on 083 326 1604.
Guys, thank you so much for what you guys are doing for the love of animals and the love of people and making this world a better place. Guys, thank you for watching. My name is Ashley Brandt, and catch us again next time. God bless. Goodbye.